There's much we don't know, and there's much more to the investigation and evidence to come out. But with the recent release of the arrest warrant affidavit, here's how the prosecution's evidence is stacking up. Today I want to show you 4 key pieces of evidence the prosecution is stacking up against BRYAN KOHBERGER. Number 1. The knife sheath DNA. Currently, this is the only evidence that is direct and not circumstantial. In the absence of the knife itself, having a sheath that matches to the same knife that caused the wounds found literally beside the body of one of the victims is going to be tough to refute. As some have proposed, Kohberger could contend that someone stole or found this knife. Aside from being far-fetched, this is unlikely. Hypothetical person's handling of the K-bar through gripping, sweating, and perhaps even shedding his own blood before and during the attacks would likely have any DNA of Kohberger's. It is significant that the affidavit pointedly states that only a single source of male DNA, the suspect's profile, was found on the sheath. And if the DNA on the knife was extracted from a splatter of Kohberger's own blood, at this point the DNA is the linchpin. It is no accident that the probable cause affidavit, which is written chronologically, concludes with the DNA match to Kohberger's father. It was at that point that the investigators knew it was time to take the case down. Number 2. The car videos. No license plate was obtained from the videos. Nonetheless, Kohberger's car not only matches the car, make and model filmed near the scene, but it also coincides with the movement of his mobile phone before and after the murders. For instance, there is the sequence that occurs as the car is tracking, leaving the scene, and after Kohberger's phone had apparently been turned off. Could Kohberger contend that it wasn't his car? Certainly, but why then would it extract match of the movements of his cell phone? And now that the task force has the car, it may well yield further forensic evidence, no matter how hard he tried to clean it. Number 3. Digital phone forensics. Like the car, the pings Kohberger's phones sent to nearby cell towers are more circumstantial than direct. But taken with the movement of his car, this will be very tough to refute. Further, what possible reason could Kohberger give for his phone being in close proximity to the victim's house 12 times in the month leading up to the murders, 11 of those late at night? Could he contend someone else had his phone? That would require him to identify this person. Unlikely. Could he contend he lost the phone or that it was stolen? Sure, but why didn't he report that and cancel it? And if so, how to explain that the phone's activity continued to fit the pattern of his own use, calling family for instance? Or could he contend he was in the particular cell area but not actually near the victim's house? Aside from the fact that he would have to explain why in the middle of the night he was regularly in an area 10 miles from his home, where is this? According to a recent interview of Steve Gonsalves, the father of victim Kylie Gonsalves, Kohberger at times was so close to the victim's house that the phone was picked up by their Wi-Fi. Number 4. The eyewitness. Much has been made of Dylan Mortensen's delay in calling the police. What has been somewhat overlooked, however, is that her descriptions of his height and bushy eyebrows were all confirmatory as Kohberger became a suspect. If you doubt that, consider this. On November the 29th, roughly 2 weeks after the murders, 2 separate Washington State University campus police officers discovered Kohberger's car as a match to the Hyundai Elantra the task force was seeing. They or a task force member would next have looked at the license photo of the car's owner. Now ask yourself, would Kohberger be in custody if Dylan had described him as 5 foot 3 inches and heavily overweight? And even if so, would the case be anywhere near as strong? Dylan's description of the suspect's path when leaving the house also matches a latent footprint discovered at the scene. Important evidence if this is matched to Kohberger. Keep in mind, he is still only the accused and must be considered innocent until proven guilty, but the case against BRYAN KOHBERGER for the Idaho quadruple homicide appears very strong. For their ending summation to a jury, prosecutors labor to construct a compelling narrative, a story that explains what the accused did and why he did it, adding Kohberger's intense interest in criminality and the creepy questions he had previously asked in his Reddit survey suggests a possible motive. As noted, there is much more to this investigation and likely more evidence to come. For instance, the steps Kohlberger took post-murder, like wearing surgical gloves and hiding his garbage. There will be also a great deal of criminal procedure. And there is also the defense's case, glimpses of which may be gained during the discovery process. The task force appears to have done its job. Kohlberger's defense attorneys, however, have not provided any counter-evidence as of yet. Questions remain, and we are all bouncing on the edge of our seats as this horrific case unfolds. My name is TJ, and this is my channel, The Red X Crime. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. It's free. Don't forget to hit the notification bell for more updates on this case. Thank you for watching.